What 5 things have you already accomplished that you're proud of? That you've already accomplished that you're proud of. Next question. What do you want in the next 10 years? I want you to make a list of at least 50 items. Now, this is not what you think you can get. This is what you want. If everything fell into place and you could have anything you wanted in the next 10 years, what would that list be? Not something you think you can earn, not something you think you can buy, not something you think you can, finally be so successful you can get. This is what would really do it for you the next 10 years. I want you to make this list. And here's the deal now. I want you to put each item one under the other. Not side by side, but one under the other. And make as long a list as you possibly can in the time I'm going to give you. One underneath the other, because we're going to do some things with this list when you finish, okay? Just start writing now as fast as you can. Abbreviate where you can. Make a longer list. If something's private, put it in code so nobody can figure it out if they got a hold of this list. One underneath the other. As fast as you can write. Just let your dreams, run free here. Not what you think you can get, but what you want. If everything fell into place and you could have whatever you wanted the next 10 years, what would that be? Little things, major things, insignificant things, doesn't matter. Just make the list. Places you want to visit. I've been to a lot of countries, but I got a long list of countries I haven't been to yet. Last year I checked Cyprus off my list. What countries haven't you been to that you'd like to visit the next 10 years? Cities you'd like to visit. I've never been to Venice. I've been around the world and all over Italy, and I've never been to Venice, so it's on my list. I haven't been to Egypt, haven't been to Saudi Arabia. You'd think I've been everywhere, 39 years, but not yet. What experiences would you like to have in the next 10 years? Parachute out of an airplane, star in a movie, play in a rock and roll band, win a gold medal in the Olympics, start a new family, try a new sport. What do you want for your children? That's a whole list in itself. Education, places you want to take them. What new skill would you like to learn over the next 10 years? When I started learning new skills at age 25, it changed my life. I learned sales, multiplied my income by 5 first year. I learned how to find good people, recruiting, multiplied my income some more. Learned how to organize, learned how to promote, rewarding people for small steps of progress. I became so good at that, my income went crazy. Maybe you'd like to give seminars, write some books. The next 10 years. Some things right away, within the next year, some on out there. Benevolence goals. Maybe you've got a long list of projects you'd like to support. Now, this is not what you think you can do. This is what you'd really like to do. Mark Hughes had a passion for helping kids that had drug problems. One year he gave $8 million. $8 million. When I first met him, he couldn't give 800. Finally, he could give 8 million. Andrew Carnegie said, I'm going to spend the first half of my life accumulating money, and I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away. That's big time. In the first half of his life, he accumulated $400 million, which back then was a lot of money. Guess what he did the last half of his life? He gave it all away. So keep your list going. What's got you turned on? Maybe you've been turned off until you got here this weekend. I want you to start working on turning your lights on for accomplishments. You can't believe what you can accomplish if you'll just work hard on this list now. It's amazing how adults have, a problem with this, right? Let's see. And kids don't have any problem. They'd be asking for extra sheets of paper by now. Kids say, you mean anything I want the next 10 years? Yes, write it all down. They would go like crazy. A cabin in the mountains, upstairs maid, a cook, a chauffeur. How about your investments, properties? One of my goals was someday to be financially independent. We're going to talk about that a little later. My father convinced me years and years ago that someday I should be debt-free, owe no one anything. My mother and father practiced that. When I inherited the estate, all the lands and the house and the buildings and the things and the cars and everything, guess how much was owing when I inherited it all? 0. Not 1 penny. Everything free. It is a glorious feeling for no one to have a claim on anything you got. Maybe you want to be in the top 10 in wealth. Is Bill Gates still number 1? The top 10 or the top 20? whatever. Maybe you're working on a new invention. Congratulations, someday, who knows? Make a list of your health goals. Got to have a good physical support system over the next 10 years. How healthy do you want to be? Eliminate some illnesses, eliminate some weaknesses. Get strong for competition in the 21st century. One of my goals was to have a residence in each season, for each season. Finally check that off my list. So I could spend winter here and summer here, autumn here and spring here. Residence for each season. An apartment in Manhattan, a ranch in Brazil. What would really do it for you the next 10 years? Some goals for your career, your business. I put a little revenge on my first list. Some of the people that said I couldn't do well, they were on that first list. Couldn't wait to get my new car, drive it up on their lawn and say, oh, pardon me, here's the money to have it fixed. I mean, I had some stuff on my list, something that would give you incredible satisfaction. Old Testament, God says, vengeance is mine, all mine. No wonder he wants it all. It feels so good. If I was God, I'd want it all. What would really do it for you? Some scores to settle, gently but deliberately. My Japanese friend, Toru Ikeda, San Jose, California, put on his first list, a Caucasian gardener. I thought, hey, that's good, Toru. What would do it for you? A hobby you'd like to start. Collecting. New car, become a race driver. I got this neat little motorhome, right? Put the dirt bike on the back, away I go. I'm now putting a fax machine in my motorhome so I can be a little more in touch even when I'm gone. Here's my new mode for the future. In touch and out of reach. That's the new deal. Say, yes, you can, right? You can contact him, but you can't find him. For a while, he's gone.